No holiday party is complete without a good dip, and I've got 6 new and delicious dips to add to your party table. I'm starting with Crockpot Christmas Corn Dip. Everybody loves a good corn dip. You can serve this one hot or cold, but I definitely recommend hot because it's the cold time of year. So I'm gonna start by grating some Monterey Jack cheese. You know, if you're wanting something melty and creamy, you gotta grate your own cheese. What makes this Christmas corn dip is that it has the colors of Christmas. It's got some red and green, and I'm gonna keep the base white corn so that, you know, it still looks Christmassy. Don't invite me to your party if you don't have a dip. I sometimes make my whole meal out of just dips. It's my favorite food. We start just by putting all the cheeses and the corn into our crock pot. Our Monterey Jack, of course, a block of cream cheese. Every good party needs that. I've got white shoe peg corn. This corn is sweet and crunchy. I've thawed this out, but you can get cream corn in the freezer section. It comes like this, and you can usually get the white cream corn there, and it's just a little bit fresher, like more homemade tasting than what comes in the can. All right, and now we have to add our red and green. So I'm gonna do a red bell pepper and then green jalapenos. I did a version of this a while ago, but I don't remember anything about it. Do you know how many people message me? They're like, can you send me that recipe where you put chicken in a crock pot with potatoes and you called it swamp or whatever? And I'm like, do you know if you just typed all that in Google, it would pop up? You don't even have to ask me. I'm gonna take the seeds out to keep this not too spicy. Get these chopped and then just saute them in a little bit of olive oil. We're only gonna cook this for about 3 minutes just to slightly soften and kind of extract some of that flavor. So about 3 minutes, I'm gonna season it with a little bit of salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. Just give that a stir, pull it off, and stir it right in with the cheeses. And then I'm just gonna add in a little hot sauce. Give that a stir as best we can. This is like the before picture. Wait till you see the after. And then get it going low and slow. Let's see how we have done on number 1. It smells really good. It's like Christmas confetti corn in here. Obviously you can just serve this straight from the crock pot, which is what most of us would do. Just to show you the beauty, I'm gonna put it in a serving dish. I love these scoop chips. However, if you can find those red and green tortilla chips, that would really be festive here. Just saying. I just couldn't find them. This is so good. You get the little pop of sweet corn, but you also get the savory cheese. So you have a little bit of sweet and savory going on, and you also get a kick of the spice from the hot sauce. It's almost like corn dip, like your classic corn dips that you've had, kind of like a street corn dip, meets a white queso dip. So better than the Rotel this year, you need to make the Christmas corn dip. It's fancier, it's more festive. The next one is where we get into the special ingredients because it is the holidays. We are making hot crab and artichoke dip. This is the time where you can splurge a little more. The parties tend to be a little bit fancier. So do the dips. This one just has a little bit of red bell pepper and green onion. I'm gonna chop these a little more finely because crab is delicate. It's all gonna be kind of smooth, less chunky. And then everything just gets mixed in the bowl. You can't spell party without cream cheese. Cream cheese and mayonnaise. Look at me trying to follow a recipe and measure things. A little bit of garlic. You wanna mix that together first and then we'll fold everything else in. You want these to be a little more evenly mixed so you don't just get like one big blob of cream cheese. Add in my chopped veggies and the artichoke hearts. You can just find these canned. You wanna get the ones that are just in water, not in an oily marinade. Drain them real well and then just chop them up. Okay, into the bowl. All right, and then you're just going in with Parmesan cheese and some cayenne pepper. Notice I'm waiting until the last ingredient to stir in the crab. Does look festive. All right, and then finally you fold in your crab meat. So you can get claw meat, lump, or jumbo lump. I'm just doing the claw for this. It's the perfect time. If you wanna go even more affordable, you can get it in a can. There's a couple different canned options. This is like the better. You can get the lump or the regular canned. This right here is still like about $7, a little bit under $7, and this one's more like $10 or $11. Recipe needs 1.5 cups, so I'm just gonna do both, just to show you that it's okay. Now, this is a whole claw. There's nothing wrong with that. But these other pieces are pretty small. If you would have added them at the beginning, by the time you did all that stirring, you would mix it up to nothing. So by adding it in last, you're keeping a little of the integrity. This one is different, but it's lighter in color, so people think you went all out. All right, then you just want to kind of fold this in at the end. Now everything is cooked in here. There's nothing raw, so you can taste it for flavor, which I recommend. Recipe doesn't call for any salt or other pepper, so you can just use your judgment here. Yum. I didn't put the whole teaspoon that it called for, but might go back and do that. Find you a casserole dish that you like that would fit this, or a pie plate is a good size. Add your dip right to it, and then we're gonna make a little breadcrumb topping. Recipe does call for just regular dry breadcrumbs. I am gonna just do the seasoned ones because that's what I have. The seasoned has a little extra like Romano or Parmesan cheese sometimes, just a little more flavor. You could do this part ahead of time, cover it up and keep it in your fridge until you're ready, or go straight into the oven, 350 degrees until it's all gooey and bubbly. Woo! I might have filled it up a little high. Oh my God. This looks like one big delicious crab cake. This smells so good. You're gonna wanna let it sit. And this is one that you wanna serve warm or not cold, but this one's fine at room temperature. So this is a great one to do entertaining. To me, a crostini is the perfect vessel for this. Just take a baguette, slice it, drizzle it with a little olive oil, and bake it for like 8 to 10 minutes. I love dips so much. The flavor, it's not overly crabby, overly anything. It's like perfectly well seasoned. You get like a hint of the cayenne. I wish I would have gotten my own portion because I wanted to double dip. I've got to go back in for another one. And as it sits longer, it's gonna like hold together a little bit better. But I'm not mad at all about the creaminess, the flavor. It feels fancy, it feels special, it feels holiday. We are 2 for 2 so far. I think we'll do something sweet next. Time for a little sweet treat. We are making hot chocolate dip. This is not a hot dip though. It just mimics the flavor of hot chocolate thanks to hot chocolate. The best part is the base of it is really just 3 ingredients. A little marshmallow fluff, some Cool Whip, and then hot chocolate. So you wanna start by mixing together the marshmallow and the Cool Whip. So with this dip, it's more about all the things that you can dip into the hot chocolate. This makes for a great presentation, so just wait till you see how I do it. You can get whatever kind of hot chocolate mix you like. This is just the regular milk chocolate. If you want something a little richer, you could do the dark chocolate or even peppermint. Look at the way that marshmallow does. I'm excited. Okay. All right, get it in your serving dish. And if you do the darker hot chocolate, your dip is gonna also be darker. So you could dust the top with a little more of your hot chocolate, or you can get some cocoa powder just to kind of emphasize the cocoa. And then to really sell the hot chocolate, I'm gonna top it with some marshmallows. And to make it festive for the holidays, some little crushed up candy canes. I'm just gonna do a little bit so it's not overwhelming mintiness, but it just really makes it festive. Done, but not quite. It's all about the presentation. Is this not the cutest dessert? Who cares that it started with 3 simple ingredients? Because it looks like you went all out. You can pair this with whatever sounds good to dip into your hot chocolate. For me, you know I love a little salty sweet. These little like thin Oreos, it's more like a chip and dip situation. Of course, graham crackers, some gingerbread men. I mean, why not strawberries and chocolate? This is just the cutest thing ever. That marshmallow just makes it like a cheese pool. Peppermint's a nice touch. I would almost prefer this over a holiday cheesecake or another cake that someone might bring. Bring this for dessert. It's sure to please everyone. And it's just fun. It's almost like you're doing a dessert fondue. We are just knocking these out of the park. Jezebel sauce is our next dip, and this is the most functional dip of the day. Not only does it serve as a dip for multiple things you'll see, but you can also add this to marinades or dressings or sauces, or give it as a gift. Also, maybe the fastest one of the day. It's simply a combination of some store-bought jellies, apple and pineapple. I mean, this is a throwback to at least the 80s. My mom's friend used to bring this to us every Christmas, and it goes so great with ham. And then this is what gives it the bite. A whole jar of prepared horseradish. So the whole thing is kind of like sweet and tangy. You get that like, you know, bite that kind of clears your sinuses, and then a tablespoon of dry mustard, a little bit of pepper, a little crushed red pepper. And this is one of those things that gets better with age, so you want to let this refrigerate for several hours. And if you're a canner, you can then can this and it'll last, you know, in your pantry for months. I like to see more flecks in there. Makes it look homemade. It's not in the recipe, but I like a pinch of salt to balance it all out. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for a little while to let it all come together, and then I'm gonna show you all the uses for it. Jezebel sauce is done. Now let me show you some great ways to serve it up. Now the most popular way is the Southern way, which is over a block of cream cheese. And I'm just telling you, it is perfection. Having a jar of this for emergencies, it will always come in clutch. Pigs in a blanket, it goes great with sausages, or even instead of, you know, like when you do the cocktail meatballs and you do grape jelly or something, try this instead. It's gonna give you like a lot more of a bite of flavor. You've got smoky, you've got sweet, salty, tangy. This is reminiscent of the ham sandwich, because another way to use it is to spread it on your leftover holiday ham sandwich. Also, you can go into the freezer section at the grocery store, pick up some just ready-made appetizers to pop in your air fryer or your oven and serve up the sauce. They'll think you went all out. This will go great with spring rolls or egg rolls, wontons. I did some coconut shrimp straight from the freezer section. That might be better than that. Jezebel sauce, as a dip, or as a gift for the win. I don't want to make that. This next one is a dupe of a dip that you can only get seasonally. It is the Creamy Cranberry Jalapeno Dip. You usually see it at Costco or Sam's. It's usually just around the holidays, but seasonal, special. That's what we're making today. I did a lot of research a while back to develop the closest to that dip. I think I nailed it. So you're gonna start with some dried cranberries, and we're going to add some boiling water and kind of soften them up a bit. And this will happen pretty fast. It only takes like about 3 minutes or so. I'll let that sit here while we get everything else ready in the food processor. In goes 2 blocks of cream cheese, a little bit of red onion. I want this pretty finely chopped so that when we put it in the food processor, it gets even more chopped. All right, and then 1 jalapeno that has also been seeded and chopped. And I'm also doing pickled jalapenos. A little bit, about a teaspoon of the brine. Silly me, I'm supposed to add the cream cheese last, but let's see if this works this way. And Asiago cheese. It's kind of an important ingredient. Couldn't find the shredded, so we're just going in with the shaved kind. Asiago is gonna give it kind of that salty, because you've got your little heat and sweet and tangy. Now you need a little salty, a little more sweet with some sugar. I should have chopped everything and then started in the cheeses, but we're winging it. Yes, just the fairest little tint of pink. So creamy, you just get little bits. You can see everything that's in there. You can see the cranberry, you can see the jalapeno. All right, then transfer it to a bowl. To me, this one gets better a little bit with age, so I like to refrigerate it a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I like to serve it. To me, this is the easy, like, no fuss situation, but because it's so creamy, I like a cracker that's like extra crunchy versus something really soft, you know, like a Ritz cracker. Add a little color, just to let people know what's inside. Dip number 5, done and done. How do it taste? Let me tell you. This is the simple one to keep on hand. It's gonna make your entertaining really easy. Decorating the top in another festive way, red and green. Also the one people are gonna be like, what is this? What exactly is in here? It can be your little secret. If you don't have smoked salmon in some way, shape, or form every holiday season, what are you doing? Maybe it's just us, but my mom has served this every Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, everything, for as long as I can remember. And when you turn it into a dip, it feeds a lot more people than if you just slice this and put it on a bagel or something. One little small pack is gonna make a lot of dip, and I'm gonna show you how. We're serving it up in a new way because I promised you new when we started. So while you might have had smoked salmon dip before, I would like to think that you haven't had it like this, because we're doing a smoked salmon layered dip. So you take your smoked salmon, whatever makes sense, but you wanna kinda like finely chop it up. I'm also gonna chop up a little bit of red onion very finely. The way my mom serves it is with everything separate. You've got your little slices of smoked salmon, a little red onion, a little caper, and then she makes like a dill cream sauce. Then you make the perfect bite. It's kind of the way my mom introduced the perfect bite to several of my friends, because as far as I'm concerned, she was the originator of the perfect bite. All right, I'm gonna put some of the red onion inside, fresh dill. Then, because it's the holidays and we're making it special, we're going creme fraiche. Sometimes it's a mixture of cream cheese and sour cream, so if you want to do that, do that. I mean, this is a little pricier than cream cheese or sour cream in the store, but the richness is so good. My mother-in-law makes it with this, and it's really good. All right, I'm gonna give this a mix. All right, now we just need to flavor it up a little bit. I'm going in with just like a teaspoon of the caper brine, just a pinch of salt, and then I like to brighten it up with some lemon zest and lemon juice. All right, and then some cracked pepper. This is another no-cook situation, and I love that. All right, then you're gonna take this and you're gonna spread this on the bottom. That's your base, just like you're building, you know, a 7-layer dip, and then you top it. I'm gonna go in with some more dill, capers. The capers are what makes the whole thing. You gotta have a caper in every bite. And a little red onion for confetti and color. You don't need much since I put some inside. You don't have to put so much on top because I know some people don't want a big bite of onion. I happen to love it in this, so give me all the onion. Listen, we are on our last dip and it has been a party all day. It's about time to break out the wine, especially for this one. Just so happens to be right there. Now let's serve this up. To mimic the Lox bagel experience, bagel chips. Or crostini, I just thought the bagel chips are fun here. You can set down some lemon wedges just to kind of freshen it up a bit. And that is your salmon layer dip. Just go ahead and get prepared. I deserve it. Perfect bite coming in. The original perfect bite, this one's for you, Mom. Creme fraiche takes it to a whole nother level. Could I have even saved the best one for last? Maybe. I could just put this plate in front of me and call it dinner, girl dinner. This definitely completes a series of perfect holiday dips. You're gonna wanna make this one too. You're gonna have a hard time picking which one to make first. Whether you want something hot or cold, sweet or savory, one of these 6 recipes has you covered. They're all gonna be crowd pleasers, and I hope you try them. Happy holidays, my friends. I sure do love a dip episode. I have to act like I know what I'm doing in this episode, so.
Oh.
It's just like, it's too early in the morning and I don't know how to cut. We do not have time for this. I forgot this is why I don't like the store brand. It's a good no cook option because, you know, you do enough cooking during the whole, oh my